If I was living in 1962 to 1967 in the US, the BDS would be the civil rights movement for the African American, where they said, okay, since we no longer have the rights to sit at the front of the bus or to use the white only water fountain or the whatever, they decided we're going to boycott until our voices are heard, because the violence didn't work. They tried being violent. They tried doing all these other kind of things to achieve that goal, but nothing captured more attention than taking the money away from the people who needed that support. And then I think the BDS movement in of itself has succeeded because it's catching the attention of people worldwide, where now this discussion is being broadcasted, where people are now having this debate and this discussion. Whether or not it's being approached in the best of manner, that's a separate issue. But has the BDS movement as a whole brought to the light an actual dialogue? Yes, me and you and Isabella are doing it right now. And it's at least one avenue that is not violent. Because for many, many years, the only form has been violence. Look, they went to a war, right? The 6-Day War. That didn't work. Then you had the Intifada. And then for decades after that, you had violence. Then it was suicide bombings. Then it was throwing rocks. And then it was all types of violence. Finally, there's some sort of an outlet. Look, it's not a perfect outlet. Can it be used as an inflammatory way to attack Jewish people? Yes. But at least at this stage in the game, no one's dying. And I'm okay with that. That part I'm okay, because from here forward, we can find a better means and a better way. And I feel that everything has to come full circle, where we're going to find a place to begin, a starting point, and we can only build from there. And I hope, my hope is that eventually we're not going to need a BDS movement. We're not going to need any movement, because in that stage of the game, we're going to have opportunities to have real voices, real dialogue, where I don't have to be from Gaza and not be able to talk to my brethren in Ramallah because of the blockade. I don't have to go through Egypt to take a flight to another country to walk into the border a different way. Because I also believe that part of the problem is that a lot of common Israelis don't know the plight that goes on, because they haven't had the opportunity to experience what goes on in some of the other parts where the Palestinian people are. So for me, for example, the BDS movement signifies something very strong. It's finally the one time I can say that the Palestinian people have a non-violent means to finally get their voice heard and say, look, we need it. We need help. We need you to pay attention. We need Israel's government and leaders to finally say, okay, you know, we told them to stop being violent. They're stopped being violent. We told them to stop throwing rocks. They stopped throwing rocks. We told them to stop, you know, using inflammatory language. Okay, they're stopping to use inflammatory language. What other means do we have? That is literally the only political means that we have. Clearly, I've already established in the beginning of this dialogue, our representatives are not representatives. I'll be the first one to say it, and at least I have the courage to say it. The PA is a horrific representation of what the Palestinian people need. They're horrific. Hamas is not what the Palestinian people need.